Good evening, everybody. We are back after a week's break. Some of us back in the UK after gallivanting.
Back in the UK.
I was in Derby. That kind of felt like.
Is that UK? I don't know.
The UK.
It's another worldly place. That's for sure.
Either way, we are back. Thank you, and welcome to the Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 7, Episode 10. Tonight, no topic, just a catch up, a paint and chill, get some hobby done. Ask us some questions. It's gonna be a nice chilled end to the long holiday weekend, and we're finishing with some nice weather as well. It's actually quite nice and warm and sunny out north.
Aye.
This is our summer. This will be our summer.
He's even got the window open. I can see it at the back there. Blimey.
I always have the window open. I like a nice cool breeze. Yes. Don't forget, so we are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby. Use the code PCP5 when you're checking out on the web store to get an additional 5% off your already discounted order. Big thank you to everybody that's watching this on the catch up. Always appreciate you guys. Link to channels all the way down there. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. God, that was professional, that wasn't it? That just slid.
He is so slick.
That was brilliant. I'm quite proud of that one. So, how are we? Everyone had a good long weekend.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's been all right.
I mean, what you need when you just come back from doing no work for a week is 4-day week, and then go into a 4-day weekend. It's absolutely perfect. And then another 4-day week. It's absolutely perfect.
I wish they were all 4-day weeks. And what can you do?
I think it should be 4-day week. I'm aiming for 3, frankly. That's the way I'm aiming. 3-day weeks. You got to keep up with your painting, mate.
If you were on a 3-day week, Dom, I dread to think the amount of stuff that you would get painted. It would be phenomenally high.
Funny enough, I'll probably do less because Elaine will drag me out to do all kinds of stuff. And at least I can pretend I'm working, so it's all fine.
Good stuff. Right, let's see who has joined us on this rather sunny Monday night. Alad is here. He's taking a back after break at the painting table, working on Space Marines for Kill Team. Ooh, and a mixed bag of 15mm Soviets for Chain of Command and Flames of War. Don, Picker City. What's he up to? Sadly, back at work. Some Conflict 47 Americans to keep him busy. Paul's Pension. Hello, Paul. Hope you're doing well, mate. Nick Dawson, Trevor Hodgkins, Martin Hoey, Rich John Sowerby, Lionheart, Camberwell Johnny. Seriously Wargaming. Hey, great to finally catch the live stream again. Working some Black Site Studios, astronauts in honor of today's lunar flyby.
Nice.
Phenomenal photographs coming from that.
I was just watching that before we went live. That's really cool. Really cool.
Absolute madness.
Would you do it, Steve? You could turn the clock back, and assuming they had a capsule big enough for your enormous frame, would you go up to space?
Yeah, can you imagine being that far away from other people? It'd be brilliant. It's like my life. It's like my life's ambition. That's what I'm aiming towards.
Perfect, isn't it? Just leave me up here. I'm fine.
I'll be fine. Just give me another 6 months. I'm just getting used to it.
Send me Vimto and new super glue.
Exactly. Yes. Oh God, yeah. The lack of Vimto would be a thing, though, wouldn't it? I wouldn't be able to cope with that. Andrew King, Shiggles and Spruce. Hello, James. You're doing well. Gonna Prego. Stupid fat hobbit is cracking on with. I feel such awful saying that. It sounds like an insult. Stupid fat hobbit. Cracking on with some World War II Soviets. Mark Bro 123, Simon Stokes. Hello, Simon. Thomas. He's working on some Dead Man's Hand cavalry and other randoms before the mounted versions arrive this week. Hopefully,
excellent
stuff.
They are lovely.
They are nice. Steve Harper, Nathan McGowan, Marky Sparky. A bit more Middle Earth for Marky. Andy Stocker. Matt Wright, Evening All, old school FRP. He's working on some 1830s Mexicans again.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with that. Dom, have you got your passport?
That is an in-joke with James because he managed to lose his passport when we went to see the baseball. We were walking into the stadium and then he suddenly went, I haven't got my passport. And he dropped it on the road leading up to the stadium. Luckily, it was still there when he went back. But yeah.
Is a passport required to get into the baseball?
Well, that's what I said. Why don't you just leave it in your safe in your room like every other normal human being does? But no, he took it with him. I think because he was hoping that somebody would check his age.
Yeah, it's a cunning.
You know, it was never going to happen.
I hate to break it to you, James, mate, but you're not getting your age checked surely anymore. No. Although to be fair, I got ID'd on Friday. I got ID'd. Well, yeah, but it was I went to the
cashier have a walking stick and a dog helping us.
She come over and I scanned the wine that I was going to give to my parents, just sort of an Easter thing. I scanned the wine. She come over. She looked at me. She goes, "Have you got ID?" Yeah. She's looked at me up and down. She went, "How old are you?" And I went, "I'm 42." And then she went, "Okay," and walked off. Like no one's going to lie about being 42.
the last time I got ID'd, I was 31. And I was buying a 4-pack of San Miguel in the village I used to live in. And the guy said, "Got any ID?" I said, "No." He said, "Oh, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 31. He went, "Oh, that's fine then." And that was it. That was the interrogation. "That's fine." And I walked out with my San Miguel. So who else we got here? Nick Games, the plebiscite. Hello from a darkening black country. Oh, wait. We can all calm down. The real Steve is here.
Oh, thank goodness.
Time from his fishing.
See, real Steve goes fishing. Do you do fishing, Steve?
I've been fishing many years ago. I've been fishing. We have a really old canal in the town I grew up in. Yeah, didn't like it. Just didn't. I've actually done more. I've played more video game fishing than real life fishing.
Is that fishing simulator?
Fishing simulator. I think it's called Euro Fish Simulator. It's quite addictive.
I've done it twice in my life.
Chris has been painting his bathroom at 1-to-1 scale. That sounds enchanting. Lynn, hello from Chili Day in South Mississippi. Valley Boy, New Zealand. Mutual bloody.
Hang on a minute. Lynn, I met at Adepticon, and he'd driven up from wherever he said he was, 17 hours in the car with his wife. To Adepticon. And then he did the absolute classic. I'm sorry, Lynn, I'm going to call you out here because he then booked a hotel which he thought was right by the convention centre. It turned out he got the wrong one and it was by the airport. So he then had about an hour's drive to the convention each day.
when things go wrong, they go wrong. Yeah. 2 Feet Away Paints. Hello from 1066 Country, painting Undead and working on shopping list for Salute. Laser Pirate Painting. Michael Corey Films. Don't know why it came up in my feed, but glad to see a familiar name. Hey, John. I'm glad I'm taking Michael knows a John in the chat. But welcome anyway, Michael. Very welcome to see you. Peach Flags. Mark Richards. Here we go. Yorkshire Gruno, Tim. Lionheart. Matt Ward. Kevin Sturdy, hello Kevin, and we're at the bottom, and it didn't do anything weird or funky. Good stuff. No. So let's have, because we've had I know Dom was away for a week, so we probably only painted 4 armies. Let's have a catch up on what we've all been up to over the past couple of weeks. So let's start with Dom. Go on, Dom. What have you been up to?
Well,
this is where he just links his video.
I've been doing all week. So I am officially a weird shitter now.
Yay!
A weird shitter. Oh, I thought you meant you just do something else in the carsy.
I mean, there is that as well. Yeah, we're not going to that on stream. How many minutes we are in? We get demonetized before we go to.
There's niche channels for that kind of thing, Dom. Very, very niche channels.
I do my accounts. I went to Adepticon. I was surrounded by weird shit, and it rubbed off. What can I do? So I'm now a weird shitter.
A weird shitter, and I rubbed off. Okay.
Well, as a result, I did some orcs. So there you go. That's my leading.
Yeah, I recognise those orcs.
So that's Mr. Hicks's orcs.
They are lovely, aren't they?
They are nice.
They are very nice. To do. That blue looks really light. The camera's made it really light. It isn't that light in real life. So yeah, I did some orcs because why not? Really, because I'm a card carrying weird shitter now, and then I did some more. So there you go, some more orcs all done. So yeah, I enjoyed doing them. They're good fun, a bit different, bit of fun. Particularly the archers, I really enjoyed doing them.
Did you find the quiver with the face?
I did. Yes, I did.
I didn't notice it until I had it model upside down, and I was looking at it, going, "Why is this thing looking back at me?" I didn't quite...
There's one of them's got a hand as well, hasn't it?
There's loads. There's one. Yeah. There's. I thought one of them had some like quite funky like clasps on the armor. And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." So I put some gold paint on it, thinking, "Oh, I'll do that." Yeah. And then I realised they were ears.
Yeah. There's some weird bits on it. There really are. It's quite fun. You have to look quite closely at them though, because they catch you out. But yeah, it's fun to do. So no, seriously, I worked on those, and then before I went away, I was having a bit of a tidy up. Frankly, I was looking for stuff to sell, and so I was digging around at some of the things. And I came across a whole load of old Mongol figures that I'd made up and hadn't got around to doing. I thought, you know what, I fancy painting that. I have a cunning plan, which I'll talk about another time, but what to do with them. So I started to work on some of the Mongol figures I had. So
okay, isn't this your dream project?
Yes,
it is.
Yeah,
it is. So yeah, I'm working on. So I've mentioned this before. The Mongol Empire has fascinated me since I was really, really young, and but I can never find a rule set that I like that sort of I think gives the feel that I want from the period and from the armies. But I've got a cunning plan, which I'll come back to. But yeah, that's but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get working on them. So that's some of the heavy cavalry and a camel drummer, because everyone needs a camel drummer in their life. And then there were a whole load of horse archers. Now, I think these were the Fireforge ones, I think.
Yeah, they did a whole load, didn't they?
They're a bit weird molds, a bit weird sort of setups, and some of the sculpts, how I've put them together is a bit odd. But anyway, they're done.
Like the Byzantine cavalry, then yes, I could understand.
Peculiar. But anyway, it's done. So I've got some more, and then there's a few sort of heavy cavalry types, which I've also done. So that spear needs to be bent back again. They'd obviously been in a box far too long. That spear was rather bent. I've straightened it up once, and it keeps folding back over. That was fun. And then what else did I do with them? Oh, and then some spearmen. These are metal ones.
Oh, lovely.
So I had fun with those. I just really enjoyed working around with them. And then I did order a couple of extra figures before I went away. And so I got a shaman on a camel, because, you know, that's always useful.
That camel looks seriously scary.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. That's a violent looking camel.
Yeah, he's not happy. He's been possessed by something. Well, I told you I'm into witch it now, so there you go. It's all sorted. And some more archers, because they're Mongols. They need lots of archers, although probably mounted archers would be more appropriate. And then some more archers, just because why not? So they're more of the Fireforge plastics. So yeah, I've enjoyed doing all that lot. And then a modicum of sense came over me. And so yesterday, the day before, I did an armored car. So
hey,
that's it's a World War One type, actually pre-World War One. I forget the model now, but it's Austro-Hungarian armored car. And I wanted something for my Turkish forces and my Ottoman forces in 0 hour, just to give them a bit of pep. Now, apparently they had about 4 armored cars in the whole war, and there's no proof that any of them saw action, and nobody actually knows what types they were. But so I thought, well, the Austro-Hungarians were pretty much allied with them, so I'd use one of those, and they've just got the little crescent and star on them just to show that they are Turkish.
Nice.
And it's good fun. That's First Corps, I think, did that one. It's a resin with metal wheels and metal barrel, that kind of scenario. So, and it was good fun to play around with, just sort of dry brushing and putting mud and whatnot on. So, yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I can put my jumper back on now. I'm cold. Yeah, there you go. That's what I painted this last week.
And did you bring back inspiration from Adepticon? Have you got like 50 million projects?
Do you know what? All seriousness, I had a great time at Adepticon. It was fantastic fun, and thanks to Don and to Rafferty for hosting us and looking after us. I know Don's in the chat. It was great fun. I can honestly say I didn't come back with an awful lot, to be honest, Steve, apart from a broken knee. I managed to fall over. I wasn't drunk. I did manage to fall over a fence.
Who was it you fell over watching?
Duran.
No, that was a different one. That was an ankle. So I'm moving up the leg now. It's a knee. We were coming out the Spy Bar with a whole load of Americans, and they went out the wrong way, and we ended up having to climb over a fence. And before I knew it, was on the floor. And I'm not quite sure how I did it, but I did. I'd only had one beer as well, so it can't have been alcohol, can it? Medial ligament damage, apparently, according to the doctor. So there you go, that's fun. Anyway, so apart from that, I didn't really come back with anything much. I brought back, what's it called? Blood and Bayonets, the Blood and Plunder expansion for the Napoleonic period. Which I played when I was out there, and that was great fun. But that was about it. Just a bit of merch otherwise, and a couple of freebies I picked up. Because it was a lot of weird shit. I joke about it, but it was a lot of weird shit. At the end of the day, that's what the show's about, right? I mean, there was a really nice... I did a video on this, so I don't talk about this too much unless people are interested, they look at it. The historical room, which Don and Rafferty are involved in, is this room here, and it's a fairly sizable chunk, and it's 4 days of the show, so there's a lot of things going on. And what impressed me most, I think, is that they rotate so much. So for each day, there's a lot of the people are putting on different historical games. And for a couple of days there was a Flames of War tournament. A couple of days there was a Bolt Action tournament, a Conflict 47 tournament, Silver Bayonets tournament. So the tables were constantly being refreshed and rotated, which was kind of fun. So it was good to see, but you do look at the where the historicals are, and they're in a good room, but the scale of the building. I mean, bear in mind, I don't know how many. I think they're saying about 12,000 people or something were at the show this year, and I don't know how many come up to the historical section, but it ain't 12,000, that's for sure. And the whole ground floor is just awash. Well, in fact, 2-3 floors below are just awash with weird shit of all descriptions. I tried to get some pictures, Steve, but they apparently had the Turnip 28 event going on in one of the downstairs rooms. But when I went along, it wasn't seen. I must have been an earlier day in the week when I wasn't there, so when I was doing something else, so I didn't get to actually see it, I'm afraid.
And I bet you were, like I say, I bet you were gutted you didn't get to see Turnip 28 in action.
I might have been hooked. I might have been swayed. Yeah, no, it was good fun. I played a few games. I did play a bit of Kings of War. Yeah, I did. And I had great fun doing that. That was really good fun. This was
I really like that game. I don't play it as much as I should, but I do like the system. I think it's great.
I mean, the guy who ran it was working on behalf of Mantic, and he did a really good job, because even though the rules are not that complicated, even I picked it up very quickly. He'd streamlined them even more so. So basically, just chucking tons and tons of dice at every occasion. It was just bucket. I think at one point I had 46 dice to roll, which is just like obscene numbers of dice. But as a result, you couldn't take it seriously at all, and we had a right laugh doing it. So I did thoroughly enjoy that. And so yeah, that was my sort of my toe into weird shit for the week. But it was very impressive to see, and I say one of the things it's fulfills that sort of scratch, I guess, to see a bit of an American convention. Although next time I think I'll have to go to Historicon or something like that does purely historicals. But just to see the number of people just having fun, rolling dice, enjoying the hobby. Didn't hear a raised voice. Didn't hear anything. I mean, heard lots of voices because they're Americans, obviously. But it was fantastic to see, and the excitement that was around it. So yeah, didn't bring back much other than a bit of merch and Blood and Bayonets.
Did you bring back Ken?
I tried to leave him behind.
Oh.
Sadly, I think he's got back. I mean, we'll never know because he never comes back on the stream, does he? But Yeah, it was good. Although I think actually it's Alid we've lost. I think he sounds like he's become a full-time American. He wants to move out there. I think he came over and he played in the what's the name?
Flames of War, wasn't it? Yeah,
Flames of War tournament. That's it. Played in that, which was brutal schedule. It was like 2 solid days, and I mean proper solid days. We left him there one day. We were heading to the bar, and he was about to go into his last game of the day. It was still going on until about 10 o'clock at night. But he absolutely loved it. He went to see the ice hockey, which was on in the stadium opposite where the convention was happening, and I think he's thoroughly converted to that. And he's already booked his hotel for next year, so he's just going again. It's like, so yeah, that was good fun. And James also was out there. Shaking some sprues, we know, because he lost his passport. Have you got your passport, James? Just checking. So it was good fun. We had a right laugh. And Don Rafferty put on a couple of really good games. I played Brandywine, AWI with them, and Gettysburg. But I know they also did Victory at Sea game, and I think there was an air game as well. So there was some good stuff going on. Thoroughly enjoyable. Thoroughly recommend, particularly if you do like your weird shit, because there's a shitload of it there. Really good fun.
That sounds all good. Martin, what have you been up to?
I've been places. Well, no, not as far as Dom. Yeah, hang on a second. So yeah, he's got his passport. Good news. Good news. What I've been doing. All right. So on sort of the channel front, I don't think I've painted a great. I'm working on some Scots at the minute, Victrix Scots, which will be in an update. There's a lot of them. I'm having a great deal of fun painting these. Actually, these are got to be one of the best kits that Victrix have done, because all the joins are shoulder joins, so they're actually properly posable, rather than having to go, this guy's got some really weird spinal deformity that lets the arm kind of fit round this way. I would say 95% of this, they're shoulder joints, so you've got really nice interchangeability between all of the kits. So I've got the Archer kit and the Warrior kit, and I'm putting the Warband together and doing a video on that, and so that's going to be fun. So other things I've been working on. Right, let's start with games. So last week, Robin and I played our second Siege game for the Barons War, where I had to assault the castle after not managing to breach the wall the first time. So there was no obvious breach. So it was a case of go at the walls, men. Here's your battering ram, and yeah, it was really good fun, especially because there are some rules for some siege equipment in the old first edition Outremer expansion, but not a lot. It's like an improvised ram. You know that Hospitaller fort you've got, Dom? Basically, there's a scenario in it to lay siege to that specifically.
Right.
So it was just a case of extrapolating some of the rules out for that and coming up with some of our own. So the rules are for an improvised ram in the book. So we just made a actual battering ram one better. We counted it as like an improvised, a mobile defensive position, so that they would always gain, a little bit to their defense. But then we also made some rules for boiling oil, which would ignore armor, but so you'd be rolling on their base defense and things. There was buckets of boiling piss that could be thrown at people. All sorts of filth, which was really well, no, that's just when I believe that's just after he dumped the boiling oil on the top of the battering ram. So to give you an idea, so look, here's Robin's defenders. Look on the walls. You can see, there you go. Look, you can see the cauldron of boiling oil, and you can notice his spearman sitting there behind the door, waiting. So it was really good fun. And because in my head I sat there going, are we actually going to make it over the board? Am I going to make it there? So I deployed just beyond the ditch, and we said that one unit could essentially make a move in deployment, so we could deploy a little bit further forward. So I naturally picked the battering ram to go forward a little bit. But no, it worked out really, really well. It was really good fun. There were multiple clashes in the, like, it won't spoil too much, but you got cavalry in these. This is an in-game moment. None of this is sort of like, pose. The cavalry trying to burst through, and then later just full on bloodshed in the courtyard, which was great fun. People scaling ladders, going up the walls, and then fighting, and yeah, it was really, really good fun. So I'm editing that at the moment.
Nice.
So hopefully that'll be out at the weekend if I get to move on, but if not, it'll be after that. I just got a video out about how I paint my knights, because I keep them getting asked, and I don't do anything particularly groundbreaking into them. I just paint them, and I do a lot of stippling. But I got a lot of people asking, so I put one together, and I just put this up. I did a little photo shoot with them. Borrowed some of my Wars of the Roses dead bodies, and then hid the head of the one that was blatantly 15th century because it was bothering me. Not that anyone else would care. The one down the front just looks like a peasant, but the guy, you can just see his feet and his torso. I was looking at the helmet going, I'm going to get a comment on that. I know I'm going to get a comment, so I stuffed his head into the dirt a bit. But that video is done really, really well. Like, I wasn't quite expecting which it's one of those weird things. It's kind of like you put a video out sometimes and you're like, this isn't good, I've spent loads of time on this, and then it does nothing. It doesn't, it's really slow. And I put this one out, which is like, it's quite a basic painting video, and yeah, it's done really well, so that's cool.
That's reflective of, I think, that of Baron's War generally is a lot of excitement and interest, but also I think just any kind of how to do painting things do pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, in my videos, it's just a case of focusing on the shields and the comparisons, the horsey blankets. Don't really spend a lot of time on anything else. I said, so I was just showing how I do the stippling highlights on them and things like that. So yeah, it was that was good. Then in the middle of the week, my mate Kev came over and we played some Guards of Traitor's Toll. So he says I had the castle still handy lying around. I created a bit of the wall, and that was fun since you could get up on it. I love this game. I've now played it enough. I'll talk about it in a second, but yeah, this was great fun. Sort of here's a little bit of a photo a little bit later on. You notice the people lying on their sides. There were multiple suspects who just got beaten to death while we were trying to subdue them because we were rolling. Because if a little bit like in Test of Honor in 0-200 hours, 6 successes is a critical success, and that's what you need in order to arrest someone or kill them outright. If you roll if you get 3 or between 3 and 5, you knock them down and put a blood on them, which makes it easier to subdue them later on, right? You get +1 to your roll, but that's assuming that you're competent, which I'm not. And I was trying to subdue them. But in this, unlike in the other games, basically, if you put more wounds on them, if you put more blood on them than they have brawn, you've essentially just beaten them to death. So basically, I failed so many times to put the cuffs on him that I just bludgeoned him to death. But it's so much fun. There was a fight broke out between we had to find the 2 civilians who were the closest to each other, and it was this woman buying flowers and this kind of fishmonger, and then the woman battered the fishmonger, and then you got to send the guards in, and then she battered the guards, and the fishmonger got up and stabbed a guard, and it's great fun. It is a little bit competitive because you're trying to see who can arrest the most people and complete the most tasks, and that comes off at the end. But there's modes in it where you can just play completely cooperatively. I've now played this solo a couple of times as well, and I think the way to go, I am going to film this, but I think I'm going to dip my toe into doing some solo battle reports before it. And I might maybe serialize it a little bit in terms of, I might play a couple of plot cards and then maybe try and make it about half an hour long. Because in the game, you're meant to have 10 plots and loads of guards. And, it's a bit, lots of things happening at once. But I think for a battle report, that could go. I've watched a couple of battle reports for it, and I just think there's too much going on. Whereas I just think maybe some short ones deal with a few of the plots and then introduce things is the way to go. So I might do that.
Is it better than 0-200?
It's very different. This is a proper adventure game, whereas 0200 is adversarial. One's German, one person's German, one person is the Allies or whatever, right? You're playing against. In this, you're playing against the game. There's a lot more. 0200 and Test of Honor are almost play tested the combat system and then the roving around and all of that kind of system. And this is an amalgamation of all of it, plus a lot more. The rules can appear at first quite dense, but again, it's just because there's a lot of options, and if you just limit what you're able to do, that's the best way. And I'm really itching to put all of the stuff into it, because I've got a few of the expansions. Graham kindly sent me a couple, which I painted up and did stuff for. But just like the idea of if, for example, if you arrest a suspect and you interrogate him, it tells you to pull a secret card. So I pulled a secret. You don't look at them, and it might say this is actually a spy for the king. You've got to let him get away, but you don't tell the other players. So the other players, but you're trying to then you're trying to assist him getting away, and then you'll get a bigger reward at the end of the game, or it might unlock a new plot later on that shuffle into your deck. So it is designed for linked games in campaign play. I see it more as a Friday night game, have your mates round, have a beer and play that, a bit more like an RPG. And I think there were some people in the group who I was looking at who are very sort of like, don't like the roving around. Your guard can go wandering off. You've got to have a sense of humor and be able to interpret things narratively. You could do it at a convention, and I know Graham does it at Salute and things and demos. But I think the randomness of it I think it'd be fine at a convention if you've got like-minded people who just want to have a laugh and chill out. Like if I was coming around yours, Dom, and we were going to get some beers, and Elaine was going to cook one of her really nice meals, we'd do that. Steve, you'd love it. You'd absolutely love it, because it's just so ridiculous. In the game we played, someone set a building on fire, and his guard went running and then tripped over a bench and tried to put it out, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, right.
There's fire in it. I was too bit. So there was a mad wizard. So there was this wizard in my one, like a wizard's apprentice, that has learned a spell, and he can't. But something's gone wrong, and he can't control it. So when he activates, you have to move him in a random direction, and then he just casts the spell in the direct, like straight forward. So if he's gone for a crack, and he was casting like Ice Storm, but if he goes near a crowd, he didn't just cast it into the crowd. But he ran off down a side alley, and he was the person that I beat to death. I'm trying to arrest. I was trying to arrest him. It's just he was just being really squirmy. So my guard captain just he didn't move. And I tried to arrest him. It didn't work. But what I like about it is that there's a discontent counter in it, which is a bit like in GTA, where you get the cop badges,
the wanted,
So the more you're discontent, so the higher your discontent, the less the population are likely to help you. So if you just murder someone in the street, you won't get the reward, and you get discontent. And at the end of the game, you count up the sort of the bounties, if you like, the rewards that you've got, and then you minus off your discontent, and that's how you determine who wins. I got all the bounties, but everybody hates you. whereas this guy just stopped, convinced someone not to, he just put out a fire and he wins, right? So that's quite fun. I did enjoy that.
Followed Martin around and put out all the fires that Martin started.
It's funny you should mention that. We'll talk about it. But yes, so that was I did 3 games in 5 days. So we did the Baron's War. I had played not GTA, Guards of Traitors Toll. But the weekend before, I went to Derby, and I went to Carry On Cracking, which was kindly organised by Paul Richardson in the group, and he put on a great day, and there were nearly 30 of us. So just not like Crackon with but it was just like it's an organised meetup basically, and you just organise some games and meet up. There's not like a games list or anything like that. So you just there was just shy of 30 of us. I mean, boards and swords. So there was Paul. There would be so David, Yusuf was there. They were playing Saga next to us. There was Matt and Tony, they were playing Saga as well. There were loads of people. There was Ark World being played. There was Old Warhammer being played. There was The Woods. There was Lion Rampant. God, what else was there? There was 2 games of Beneath the Lily Banners. Miller managed to play like an 18-turn game of Pike and Shot because he was getting his ass kicked so bad because he kept on failing his orders. So, and because he was going up the table. It was quite funny. It looked great though. And then so we were playing Beneath the Lily Banners. So it was myself and Robin against Paul and Haley, my wife, my lovely wife, who pummeled the shit out of us. It was great fun. So we were playing a game set in the Great Northern War. That's the one. There we go. In the Great Northern War. So on the bottom of the screen, you can see Paul and Haley's Swedes, their smaller Swede force, and then at the top, you can see the Allied Russian force with the Kingdom of Saxony as well. So on the right, you've got the Saxons. Notice that line of horses in the top corner that look like they're on a lovely stroll. Yeah, they didn't really move. They moved once. Haley shot them, and then they just sort of buggered off. And then, so the objective of the game, you had these 2 redoubts that we set up, and we basically said the victory conditions for the Swedes were: the Swedes win if they get the whole army past the redoubts. The Swedes win if they get half their army past the redoubts and capture one of them, or if they just capture both redoubts. Well, yeah, we lost. So, to give you an idea, so Haley ended up being the supreme commander of the Swedes. There she is, embodying good old Charles XII, doing the best as Carolus Rex there. And it was all kicked off in the first turn, because in Beneath the Lily Banners, you dice for orders. And you roll, and then depending on that result, it tells you how many you get. So I diced for the Russians, and it'll be like half your units can move. Robin diced, who essentially said none of your units can move. She rolled and got a 10 and said everything moves. And got that multiple times. So they then had this huge assault up the board. There was a big cavalry clash in the middle. Do you like the little unit holders that Robin made and then printed off in thingy CAD? Yeah, he made those and then slit and put those in. With something they're really useful just with the information. And then on my side of the board, that's my Russians defending against Paul sweeping over the barricades. Now, when Robin and I played this game, it took quite a lot for me to get the men out of the defended positions. Like, it took me quite a long time, and I think in one of them I didn't even manage it. But in this, they just knocked me out in one turn, and then just casually strode over the barricades and then waved their Swedish flags at us. I'll give you an idea as well. I know I sent this to you guys while you were over there in the States. So Robin he had like 10 dice, and he just needed six. Well, I say he just needed 6s. He had to roll 6s. This was his dice roll. Because he cornered them, and he wasn't getting any fire back in. We just needed like a few of those to come up. So Robin and I combined. When our powers combine, it's not like Captain Planet or anything like that. It's not Masters of the Universe over here. It gets worse. And then we got fully swept off the board, and these were the 2 victorious generals. It was a great day, a lot of fun. Went for a curry. We had some beers the night before in town. Travel Lodge was up to its normal standard. No one got a refund. It was properly good. It was a lovely time. It was really nice to see everyone, and of course it just gets the juices going for more games. I gotta say as well, everyone's tables who were there, they put on such a nice there were like river crossings going on. There was all sorts. It was really, really cool. It just makes you want to go back and do more. It was great fun. It was great fun. And also I got there and back really quickly to Derby. We were normally we take a little bit longer going home, so I got to pick up the kids. So I sort of took the way we normally go. It's like, God, just sailed down. So that was we sat in the around the corner from my in-laws for a while before we picked up the kids. Got back so early. But yeah, it was brilliant. I think if people want to try, another really good game, so Beneath the Lily Banners is so much fun. more narrative again. Good fun for a day's gaming. If not competitive, it's just funny. It's just brilliant. You know, when you get a fit result that says army paralysis, you know, they don't move. My Russians ran away, therefore, while Robbie Saxons just watched. So they just ran. One of their leaders got shot, and the bullet went through his hat, and that gave all of their units like a morale boost, because it was like, oh look, he's lucky. So they got, as if they need it, because every time it comes into it, you could hear, it was really funny, you could hear Haley and Paul shouting across boards and swords about how, like, you know, they're giant Swedish balls, I think was the expression that was getting used quite a lot. Because we were going down through the rule book, and it's someone should tell Haley and the Swedes that it isn't competitive. Yes, Robert, I agree. But yeah, we were playing, and you go down this table, and basically at the end it goes, if they're Swedish, just add one. Yeah. It's brilliant. It's just great fun. It's great fun. So yeah, it's been a busy gaming, basically. Awesome. That's mainly what's been going on. Awesome. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, Don, prepare yourself, mate.
Oh God, I've covered my t-shirt up now. I'm out of the weird phase.
So I've continued on my weirdness, actually. So 2 weeks ago we had Charlie on from War Games Atlantic. I was brilliant with Charlie. But during that stream, people may have seen me. I was kit bashing. I was pottering around. I had bits and pieces everywhere. And this is the fruits of what I built that night.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
That's all Steve, you need intervention, mate. Jeez,
something you need to tell us, mate.
I've got no idea what that is. I was just sticking things together. Just see what worked, what didn't, what was
it's
weird.
Like a Carcass album cover.
That would make a brilliant album cover. That, but that's just all. It's just old Necromunda scenery, and that one's from the Maggotkin of Nurgle, the hanging guy. There's bits of Necron in there, not Necron, Arcoflagellant. Yeah, again, no idea. It's going to be used as like an objective or a piece of scenery for Grimdark future firefight, but grim and dark together again. Oh yes. Oh, absolutely. So that was completed a couple of, actually it didn't take that long to paint up, and he only fell off about 12 times. I really should have pinned it. I mean, I drilled right down. It's going to sound terrible. I drilled right down into his spine and inserted like a wire.
I think he's past caring looking at it.
And it just kept falling. But yeah, it didn't take long at all to paint that up. I just went from a very minimalist,
very Clive Barker, very Hellraiser. I love it.
Yes, there's definitely a Cenobite vibe going on.
Can't be a Cenobite.
And then I was working on a few other things. So I picked up the Adeptus Arbiters Kill Team box, and you get this. That's
very hench dog.
So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's I think it's called a Robo Mastiff. It's just a robot dog essentially. But those the plastic Adeptus Arbiters for Kill Team. That's a head from a different box altogether. That's not from the Kill Team box. I just fancied giving him a bare head. But yeah, just brilliant. Just so much fun working on those, putting them together. Wow. And then the next thing I painted, this was a kit bash. This took me about 2 hours to actually put together and painted it about a week later. And it's this chap. So the backstory is he's a former pit fighter, and he's now an inquisitorial agent. And what I've done, see that dial on the front of his head. Yeah. That's actually cut off it's like a rucksack or something from the Kill Team Breaches box, because he reminded me of Mean Machine from Judge Dredd.
I was going to say he's Mean Machine.
Yes. So that was the inspiration, that he's got a dial on his head that you can turn up his anger. So that was good. And the trident is from it's from the Maggot Kid of Nurgle box. But again, it's just that was so many different bits and pieces for so many different boxes. I was removing spikes and skulls all over the place. But yeah, really.
Yeah. Yeah, but stupid that if we'd let him, just imagine what widget he would have come up with if he'd been on his own, unsupervised. This was just a week out of action. Jeez.
Up next, I've been painting some Adeptus Mechanicus as well, because I'm putting together like war bands for Grimdark Future Firefights. I've got some AdMech that I'm working on. And so that's them. Try to make them a bit, because they can be quite boring because they're just like long coats and metal. So I try to give them a bit of rust and weather.
That was like my teenage years.
See, I really like these because the Adeptus artists, these really remind me of like what 40k was like when I got into it, like in the mid 90s. And so I really like that because I mean, obviously they're quite different from those original ones.
Oh god, yeah.
But yeah, I really like these. They're very cool.
They're nice, and I've tried to keep them as grim dark as I could. I don't want to put any bright colours on there, so.
No, don't want to do that.
No, that would spoil it.
That would spoil it. And then, because I've been using this enamel wash thing, which has just revolutionised my painting altogether, I wanted to see if I could use it on miniatures that I painted years ago. So, about 4 years ago, I painted some Death Guard 30k Marines, and so I dug them out, and they got the treatment as well, and that's them all finished there.
They look lovely.
Thank you, and that's a full war band for Grimdark Future Firefight, 6 figures on one side. They're not Space Marines; they're called Battle Brothers in Grimdark Future Firefight. Because that's a.
And how long will they last on the table, Steve?
Grimdark's it's a bit more forgiving than Space Weirdos.
Okay,
it's still quick and violent and brutal.
Half an hour, basically.
Half an hour, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
But I really did enjoy working on them. What I enjoyed though. This is a very simple thing, is the weathering. So that's the weathering I've put on them. And it works really well with the enamel wash. So once you've dirtied it up and you've removed what you need to, I just went back in and reapplied the battle damage with the piece of sponge and some grey paint. I kept the bases really simple. Yeah, really enjoyed. Ew, God. Hopefully that'll never happen. So that's them done completely. And then yesterday I finished this.
Of course you did. Is that something you've made, or is that like
no? That's the only thing I've added to that was I had some spare green stuff. So see the cables, the tubes at the back. I added those, but I made out of green stuff. But that's an actual Games Workshop kit.
I mean that is you all over.
I did again another kit I didn't know existed, and I bought it, and I'm working on the second one at the moment. It's kind of they're like possessed mutant cultists, and so there he is with the other one that I made as well. That one there's been kit bashed though, so I've gave him a chain sword type thing, and again I had more green stuff left over, so I've added a big tube to his back. But the guy on the right, what I'm talking about there is there's no highlighting on the body. That's all just washes, and using watered down speed paints to build up sort of the decayed flesh type thing.
Certainly is, John.
But this thing here, just so much fun to paint. I really did enjoy it. Again, I was painted using a really quite thick enamel wash, and then removed about 80% of it. But it gave it this awful sort of grim, drab looking affair. So then I went back in and just added, I think there must be about 5 or 6 layers of highlights on that, on the flesh. And Army Painter does a paint called Slaughter Red, which is the greatest blood effect red I've ever used. When it's watered down, it's fantastically looks like blood. And then I've been watching loads of I know, keep going. I've been very productive. This technique has just ramped up my productivity. I've been watching loads of Grimdark painting tutorials, and loads of them are based around Space Marines and how to make them look like how I think they should look, so grim and drab and muted. So I bought my first ever box of Primara Space Marines I've ever owned. So I'm working on one of those, and I finished this today. It's a Raptor, and I just like the.
I love the eyes.
Yeah, they are possibly the greatest eyes on a helmet I've ever painted at all. I was really, really chuffed with them. But again, enamel washes, rust washes. I've got some AK Interactive rust that I've been using as well. But again, super happy with the weathering on the armor.
Lovely.
I think it really does add to it. And I think that for me, that's how Space Marines should look. A bit beaten up, you know, especially Raptors, because they operate in like jungles and stuff like that. So they're going to get dirty. But yeah. That's what I've been up to. I've been flying through stuff. So on the desk now, I've got more Marines, more cultists. Yeah, just been really
going on.
It's this this new technique that we did enamel wash. I'm just cutting out so many stages just by using it. I don't do, you know, on a lot of the stuff. There's very, very, very little in the way of highlights. It's all washes and the reductive technique in removing that enamel wash. I've got a new one. I've not used it yet. It's called Slimy Grime Dark, and it's a green enamel wash. So I'm looking forward to using that. And I've also bought some Crackon medium as well. I've never used that, so I'm going to be using that on some armor. So yeah, my viewing history has just been grim dark painting tutorials for the past 2 weeks. It's been good, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I should be painting more.
Excellent.
Blimey.
Wow, we're almost at 9 o'clock. Just from just from painting.
To talk about.
Just from, I know, yeah, I think yeah, it's been good.
You can't blame me this time. I think it was you did more of it this time.
No, because somebody on my Facebook left a comment and said, I think it was Andy, said, you know, getting through this stuff really, really quickly. And I'm like, yeah, it's so quick, because what I do is just basic block painting. You put some sort of pre-shading, pre-weathering.
There's a question from Chris. Can it be used for non-weird stuff?
I imagine for painting Napoleonics.
With your tremendous excitement and experience.
With my tremendous excitement at the thought of painting Napoleonics. It could work. If you want to, you could batter out quite a lot. You know, if you spend a bit time doing the block painting with the trousers and all that malarkey, and then give it a blast with a water down enamel wash, and then just remove you've got your instant shading, your shadows. That's most of it done. So I think if you really wanted to produce, regiment after regiment, yeah, possibly a good technique.
Or if you were doing something, maybe fighting in a jungle environment or something where very particularly, muddy and horrible. That might be good.
I mean, the more when you put it on, it literally, I leave it sort of 5-10 minutes, sometimes, depending on the effect I'm going for, maybe 20 minutes. And then it's just a case of going in with, like Martin says, with sponges and Q-tips, and just removing what you don't want to have on there. And then I give it a blast with a hairdryer for about 10 minutes, dry the entire thing, because the enamel washes, they stay reactive for a good while, and they're quite poisonous. And I put my brush in my mouth. So I steal the monk.
I mean, isn't that just though to say, like, because I use enamels a lot, but on my 40k stuff. But with the historical stuff, isn't that just the same as just slapping on the dip on it?
It would be. It would just be.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, just a dip technique. But with, like I say, with the enamel washes, you have a bit more control over what you're taking off. But yeah, it's definitely revolutionized how I can't see me going back to how I used to paint and taking. I mean, the stuff I've been painting recently, that would have taken me weeks if I was just using the way I used to.
If you're enjoying doing it though, it's the thing. If it's just enjoyable, then it's going to make a big difference, isn't it?
It's just just enamel washes, white spirit, and odorless mineral spirits. And I've been experimenting with diluting it as well to different consistencies, leaving more on, taking more off. Yeah, it's been good. And yeah, painting Primaris Marines was a bit of a thing because I don't know. I don't like the lore, but I like the models. I think that the model looks fantastic.
They're changing now, though, aren't they? Anyway,
they are.
They're just changing the helmets back to what they used to look like.
Yes, because 11th edition has been announced.
Yeah, which Dom will know because that was announced, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. No, I was in the pub by then. No. I wonder what everyone was getting so excited about and why they were handing out loads of T-shirts and everything else. And everyone said, "Oh, it's just 11th edition or whatever." Oh, okay, fabulous. And we carried on drinking. It was all fine. Yeah, interesting. I think I have a bit of a, I don't know, sort of a flashback to anything enamel painting. Because back in the day when I started painting figures, that's all you could paint with. There was no such thing as odorless, white spirits. So it's like, oh my god, it was terrible. And as you say, you couldn't lick your brush because you probably end up in A&E based on whatever. But I always found it just, I don't know, it was very difficult to get the sort of washes and effects that I kind of now try and get. But maybe I'll have another try at it at some point. But I definitely have. Flashbacks to those days and thinking, do I really want to do that again? No, I'll stick with acrylic. I do remember when acrylics first arrived and everyone went, "What? It's water based. So, but what if it rains? Everything will wash off."
No, I mean I've been using that now for 4 or 5 weeks, and I've just blasted through so much stuff than I wouldn't have normally have produced. Whether I'll use it on like bolt action figures, I don't know. That could be interesting to see how they'd turn out.
Okay, here's your challenge then, Steve. Let's see by next week. Let's have just one bolt action figure that's been done using that technique.
In the grimdark bolt action grimdark. That sounds really
It doesn't have to be grimdark, but to sort of see whether the technique works.
Okay. It's a question from Dave. For those guys who actually like painting, can you recommend a brush manufacturer who makes good but not expensive, really fine details brush? Those 3-0 or even maybe 5-0. I actually own a 5-0 brush, and I've used it about 4 times in my entire life. I don't know who makes it.
I remember who makes this. This is
I'm trying to find it.
Hang on.
So this one,
I find you never really use the very, very small brush.
So
the lowest I go down to is 0, I think.
That's a 5-0.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I've got a 5-0 here. Right.
And this is
Jesus.
It's not synthetic; it's sable, and it's made by Rotmar Kalinski EM4 Miniatures.
Yeah. Matt said the same thing that I was going to say. Wall bases do some really good brushes.
Yeah,
really.
This is just called Formal Art. Their China series, 5-0s. But it's about the tip. The thing is, when I bought these, I was like, "Oh, that looks really like." Thinking obviously it's about tip rather than.
No, it is.
The point I was looking at going, that doesn't seem. But yeah, I use that. But the wall bases ones are ace.
Flesh Clouds are recommended Rosemary and Co. Is anyone? I think. Have you used them, Dom?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I have used pretty much every brand of brush, in the hope that I'll find one that's sort of susceptible to the abuse that I give brushes. Unfortunately, there's no substitute for actually cleaning them properly and putting them away properly.
You actually have to be looking after it,
and no substitute for that at all. So it really doesn't make any difference. Yeah. But they were pretty good. I used to get some from Russia. Unfortunately, some reason the supply of those was rather dried up. But they were excellent. They helped my tip really well. Yeah. Unfortunately, things have happened there, so we won't go into that. But I've been using wall bases, as Matt said, the sort of silver ones for just sort of run-of-the-mill stuff, and the platinum or gold for the more detailed work or high quality stuff. And they work really well, even with the abuse I give them. They really
So James said he thinks that the war-based ones are made by either Rosemary or Pro Art. Can't remember.
Oh, are they? Okay, interesting.
But and Robin has said the correct answer is war-based is silver and platinum. So, there we go, Dave. Hopefully,
there you go. No need to carry on with the discussion. It's all solved.
No. Yes. So Yorkshire Pro Art all every day, and as the rat never washes.
Oh, jeez.
You love Pro Art, don't you, Steve?
No, I don't. I did my experiment and they just don't last. Mine didn't last. I mean, I look after my brush. I wash my brushes. I've got brush soap. I wash them after every session. I use brush protectors. But yeah, well, except I've stopped. I've even stopped using Winsor and Newton now. I use Raphael. So my two main brushes are Raphael,
Donatello, and Leonardo. So
I still use it. The only Winsor and Newton brush I still use is the 000. That has lasted a long time, and again still in excellent condition. But I think it was Trovarian Miniatures recommended Raphael brushes. So I went out next day, got one. It was a 0, and the point retention was so good. And then I've also got I think it's a 2-0. And that is a fantastic.
I'm going to show you guys something that I've been using for painting today, which I said to the guys at Carry On Cracking that I was going to try for doing stripes, because I've got all these Scots. So I've got to try and get a bit of some checkered pads. Obviously, it's not tartan in the early medieval period, the Dark Ages and all that, but there are sort of stripes. I was like, I want to get consistent ones, and I just had a little bit of a brainwave, so I went out and got a load of these.
Oh
yeah, it works. So I just put paint, because I can then just, obviously it's some bits, but you can just get your model and just go like that.
Yeah.
That's a really clever idea. I like that.
Done.
Really clever.
There we go.
Nice.
So a 5 note. Yes, my 5. Like I say, I've used it very, very, very few times. The smallest I'll use is a 000, and that's for things like eye lenses, or from painting eyes, or just something that requires proper detail. But I don't normally paint. I mean, most of my stuff is done with a 20 or a 0. So yeah. What's the smallest brush you used on?
I use a wall painting brush I don't know what's the smallest I use. Probably, I mean, my workhorse is probably a 1, size 1. That's probably what I use for pretty much everything. And then if I need fine detail, I may go to a 0 or whatever the one below that is. 000 is it, the next one down. But that's as far as I go. I've got tons of these. I mean, there's some here, 50, 30. Still in the packets. Never used them at all. Because I don't do all that really fine. My painting, it's about getting as many figures on the table. So it's about the mass effect and 3-foot rule. So I don't really do, apart from Mad Camel Eyes, which was actually done with a pen. So that's kind of the theme of it. So no, I don't go that fine. I wish I looked after my brushes better, because I find it very difficult to recommend any, because I abuse them so much that I suppose I'm a good example, because if they survive a month of my painting and my abuse, then they're actually probably quite good.
So apparently, Pro Art do a 10 naught. You can hardly see the tip on them.
I've got that.
Really?
I've got that kicking around somewhere. Yeah. I can't remember. I think I used that in the Warwick. Do you remember when I tried to paint the Warwick's ridiculously 16 quarterings of Warwick's livery, and then I painted his eyes through the visor. And then I walked away. Then that brush, I've never used that brush since. I just answer Yorkshire Dragoon. Yes, I'm going to have to. Also, I'm going to have to buy toothpaste for the first time in 14 years. So I don't know what the price of toothpaste is like these days. But that's That's going to be.
So give generously.
That's a good point from Flesh Cloud. So, the second you change maker because they're not consistent. They're not. I've found that. There's definitely no sort of standard or consistency between the different manufacturers. So it's more of a crapshoot. Whether you're going to get the sort of the other size or the relative size with different manufacturers.
Yeah, fair point.
But I use Winsor and Newton. I bought my first Winsor and Newton brush in about 2012, 2013. And I used them up until last year, apart from when I experimented with those synthetic ones, which I'll never, ever, ever use synthetic brushes ever again.
How long do your brushes last, Steve? Roughly?
Well, my Winsor and Newton ones with the brush soap and regular cleaning and just general 18 months, 2 years. But I know, and like I say, I started buying them, but I just decided to. Yeah, they're expensive. It's definitely a considered purchase. It's not something you just go out and buy on a whim. So I just thought, if you want to get serious about your hobby, I thought I've got to invest in some decent brushes. So yeah, somebody recommended Winsor and Newton, and back then the quality was fantastic. These days, again, the past couple of ones I've bought, they've not been what I have had over the years. Like I said, with using because I use, I'm not sure this before, that's my brush cleaner.
Yeah. I've got some of that somewhere. Never use it.
It's absolutely brilliant, and you'll be amazed when you've cleaned your brush and you think everything's off. Once you've used that, you just see all the crap that's still on the bristles. It's terrifying how much paint's still on there. And if you're forking out sort of £20 a brush, you really want that brush to last.
So what's your cleaning schedule for the brushes? I mean, I don't want to know about other parts of it.
Fuck are we
I was about to say that's a bit personal there. No, after every painting session, any brush I've used, obviously if it's just a workhorse brush, I don't bother using the brush cleaner.
Yeah.
But for my Raphael and any Winsor and Newton, they just get
at the end of every session, and what you wash them in clean water, and then you rub it in the soap, and then do you wash the soap off after?
Yeah. Water and then it's a good. What I do is I do water, soap, water, and then they're generally clean at that stage. But yeah, you see the amount of crap that comes off the brushes. It's amazing.
Anybody joining the stream at this precise moment will wonder what the bloody hell we're talking about. I think
I was going to say. Yeah, this isn't about personal hygiene, by the way. soap water, then it's clean.
He tucks him into bed, reads him a story.
He does, exactly right. I mean, I can see why I would, if I treated them well, I think I would be the same. I would spend a fair bit of money on them, but I know my weaknesses, and it's probably not going to change. But as I say, I've got that soap. I think I've probably got 2 lots of that soap somewhere. I know where one is. I'm pretty sure I bought another one time thinking this year I will be good with my brushes, and then probably forgot about it. I mean, at least I do take them out the water bottle thing, but that's something.
They're really good as well. If you've got a knackered brush, if you spend the time, you can get that point back just by washing and smoothing the bristles. I've saved quite a few brushes, some old, not like battered ones that you just. It's like my Winsor and Newton that have come to the end of their lives, but you can still bring the point back on them. It's a really useful product. It's again, it's one of those things. If you're gonna,
as I charged you to do a bolt action finger in enamels, I'm gonna try out some soap this week. There you go.
He's gonna clean a brush.
I'm
clean a brush.
No, my brush.
Stepping into dangerous territory there.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to see what the effect is. There you go.
Well, that was my bingo card this week. That's brilliant.
It's always interesting finding out what brushes and paints people use. Because, like I said, Dom, you with paints you use anything, don't you? You don't.
Oh yeah, that's not quite true. I mean, I don't have a huge amount. I don't have brand loyalty. I don't have brand loyalty in anything. to be honest, but certainly not in paints. But there are certain paints I do like more than others for certain colours, and I'll tend to gravitate towards them. But I'm not exclusive, as the young kids would say. It doesn't matter to me what they are. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it's probably, well, it is my ineptitude of painting and frankly not really caring too much about it, because when everyone's talking about all the flow consistency and the whatever, and I think, well, it just looks the right color to me, that's fine, that'll do. And you know, I know some colors, particularly those tricky colors like yellows and whites, you know, I know paints that I've tried and just haven't done, you know, just don't have it very well, and others do, so I'll stick to those. Scale 75, for instance, for the yellow, I find really, really good. I think AK Interactive do a really good off-white, which I tend to buy most often now. So there's a certain amount of loyalty there, but really, no, not much at all. I'm not a loyal painter.
Still didn't get a recommend. I don't know. It's a weird one, that, Dave. Like I said, the one I use. If you want to take this down, again, I bought this over. Oh God, I cannot even remember where or how I bought this. It's called Rotmarda Kalinsky, and it's from EM4 Miniatures. And whether they still exist anymore, I don't know how long. It's been in my sort of brush collection for years. I've used it 4 or 5 times because I don't really have the need to use a 5.0 paintbrush. But it's useful to have it there. Like I said, like mine said, if you want to paint eyeballs through a helm, a visored helmet, I imagine that's going to be quite useful.
The thing is, when you see these really good painters painting real quality figures, they rarely seem to use really fine brushes, do they? It always surprises me how big their brush heads look when they're slapping the paint on. So I don't know. I sometimes wonder whether we get a bit hung up about the size of the brush. I know, you know, David's doing 6mm, whatnot. So clearly you need to have a smaller brush for that. But it always surprises me. You watch some of, you know, Peachy or whatever, and they're surprisingly big brushes.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Martin, go on.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, right, I thought you were going to say something. So this one I use, this is that Raphael. It's a 0. It's quite a long brush, but I say it does retain like a really good point. It's not like a 000 anything like that, where it's like you can barely see any of the bristles. That's quite a big brush, but it does retain that fine point. It's very scientific. Very scientific.
He only wanted to know what brush to use.
Apparently it's a what is it? It's not a 50, it's a 50/0. I've always called them 0, 000, 00, 00, 40, 50.
50/0.
That's just the way I roll. Size 2 standard. As long as the point's good enough, you're okay. If it's too small, the paint dries on the tip and doesn't carry enough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I remember reading somewhere, which is why I use a wallpaper brush. It's far better. No danger of anything drying up in that sucker.
Tell you what, another thing is my switch to using a wet palette. That has also been revolutionary as well.
Oh, Ken, don't listen.
Again, I apologize for any times over the years that I poo-pooed wet palettes. Just, I don't know, revolutionary. I've certainly changed the way that I paint as well.
Yeah.
You never.
No, it has. Again, it was just
never ever convinced me.
What? Because of the smell.
This is a smell, and I was like, yeah.
Now, again, that was just something that I just on a whim. I just thought everyone else is using them, and then when I first started using it, the colors you can put together and the consistency and the fact that I can, you know, mix a color on Monday and it still be available on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, it's just brilliant. Really, really good. Do you own one, Dom?
I do. I mean, I own everything, Steve, somewhere around. The hobby, I own it. I did tinker with it for a bit, but it won't surprise anybody to know that I just don't have the patience, or I can't be asked. So it turned into the one that Martin talks about all the time with his workmate, who where it's created new life in the thing. So I just can't be bothered, frankly. And because I don't do an awful lot of mixing of colours, I do tend to be straight out of the bottle kind of person with paints. And so, if people say, "Oh, you save paint," it's like, really? Little bottle costs you £3. It lasts freaking months and months and months, even at the rate I go through them. I mean, I rarely throw away. The contrast I go through quite quickly because that slops on all over the place. But the others, you don't. How often do you throw away a bottle? It's like, really, that little blob, is that really going to make that much difference? So because I don't, I think if I did mix more, or do the sort of, I don't know, sort of tonality of bringing down the colours, which I just don't really do. It's not my style of painting because I'm mass producing, so I never really felt the need for a wet palette. Can't be asked, really. Definitely in that category of can't be asked. Sorry.
Right, it's 9:15. Do we have any news?
We've got really important news.
Oh, we have. We've got really, really important news.
Which I think we should do first because, quite frankly, it's more important than everything else.
Okay, the news. Go straight to the news.
Okay.
Hang on, are we going to play the video?
Okay. Oh, we've changed, haven't we? Yes, Dom.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to play the video. God, I'm contractually obliged.
Now for the news. But think, can you really afford this? Especially the weird shit.
There you go. We have to play that.
I forgot about that.
Right. So, the news. So we had to wait for all of us to be back together. So, but basically next week, next Tuesday to be exact, which is going to be the 14th. The tickets for this year's Crackon 7 will be on sale midday, right, Dom?
That's it. If I can work out
you will still get your warning the night before. They will be on sale. There's going to be more tickets. We'll also on the stream next week. We've got the list of the first set of games. There are still a few spaces, but what we wanted to do, a bit like last year, was essentially have a whole load of games already for people to begin. I think we've got something like 5 games with 55 spaces, I think, something like that at the moment, which is mad. And it's going to be very cool. We've got a really good mix. There's a couple of very obvious things that are not represented. So they'll be on sale. So we'll put up the links next week, and there will be information. You get the name and all of that. We'll be on it early this year. Once you've bought your tickets, there'll be a little bit more info coming in because we're going to collect a little bit more information. Because last year we had about between 10 and a dozen dropouts for various reasons. These things happen, but we're going to try and get people in touch with the people who are running the games through more than just Facebook. So we appreciate that. That's not always the best. And as the thing gets bigger and as this gets bigger, it requires a little bit more management. But at the end of the day, it is just us that do it and Haley. It's cool. So we'll have all of that. We'll have the raffle again. There's the painting competition again, which Dan is kindly and Stu, who has every intention of coming, and he has the last 2 years, but he has helped Dan do judge. So they'll be running the painting competition again. There might be an additional category this year, which I haven't actually spoken to these guys about yet, but I need to do that after the stream. So that's just reminded myself. So we'll have that. As I said, we already have the raffle. We really can't wait. And going back to Boards and Swords a couple of weeks ago, that really got me in the mood for it. But there's some very cool games. We've got some very cool people coming and some just good old favorites are going to be on. And I can't wait. Some of the games that have been confirmed already are awesome, and it's going to be great. And I didn't say the graphic, the art for this year, the That's been worked on by Matt Klein, who did our lovely piece of art last year with the helmet. So that's going to be he's working on something awesome this year, which I can't wait to see. So that'll be on sale next week on the 14th at midday. We'll put up links in the Facebook group. We'll obviously talk about it next week and stream as well. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, you can just ask us on the Facebook group or email us at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll pick that up. At the same time, we'll give you a full list of the number of tables that are available. If there's space and there's a little game that you want to put on or something like that, then just have a chat with us, because games where people can drop in, and just have a little go when like the big games are either finished or they're sort of like changing between players, they're always welcome. Welcome. But that's cool. But yeah, of course, that's the most important news. Now we've got like a whole bunch of stuff that's been released. I suppose the big one, Salute, is this weekend. Dom's going to be there, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
And I'm going to be there representing. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that Steve isn't going to be there. So we'll be there. So say hi.
Apparently, he's got a mission to Mars. Apparently, that's what's happening.
Me, yeah. Recently drafted.
Did you? Yeah. No. Sorry, I just did you see at Salute? They've got that bridge command thing that's in London.
No.
No. Do you know what it is?
No.
So it's like one of those experiences, a little bit like an escape room, where you and your buddies go into this thing, and it's like you are on the bridge of, say, the Enterprise, and one of you is the captain, one of you is the weapons officer, one of you is the pilot, and that you have a screen in front of you, and you have missions to do, and all that kind of stuff. And there's a bar outside, and you get drunk, and I think they've got something at Salute to show to you. You have to book it quite a bit in advance, but yeah, you can do it like an experience. Could you imagine us doing that? I might have to bring Haley or Haley and like down there. You bring Elaine along, and like they could be the actual the
adults.
serious, the adults. But yeah, I just thought that would be that would be a right laugh. But yeah, like it's Klingons on the starboard bow. But yeah, like things go off explode. You've actually got to do things, and you got to run to like a different room if like the
run
if something gets blown up. Like you've got to run in there and plug in the energizer battery. I just think it sounded quite fun. One of my best friends is very much into. I think Jean-Luc Picard is his hero. So I think for his birthday, we might have to club together and buy him a bald cap and send him on a.
Can we persuade them to come up to Derby on the 17th?
That would be ace. Yeah, that would be
to run it there.
That would be ace. Yeah, but anyway, if people are there for Salute, say hi. Already seen it here. Yeah, Ewok Kebab is going to be there. Excellent. You actually go. Yeah, just wave that flag to get my attention again. That will be when I can put that in the middle of my video.
Large pipe block. I don't want to know about that, Ken. Thank you.
Well, what was better last time was he had his game, and everyone he was waving the Italian flag, and a bunch of people were asking if it was Mexican. that was my favorite thing. No, I'm really looking forward to it. So it'll be a cool one. Robin's going to be there, and Matt's going to be there as well. But no, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. I think, although interestingly, as we said, there's a lot of people who aren't represented this year. If you go and look at if you go and look at the trailer, they say pilot, and you can take it up with them. Go and take it up with them. What else have we got in here? If you need emergency post, let me know you're actually going. No, it's so that would be cool. But yeah, in terms of
I'm looking forward to
games,
it's always one of those.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
things I saw. Victrix have released their farm animals, their Dark Age and medieval ones, and they've done their research. There's animals in here that that have got the different breeds, whatever, for the period, which I thought was quite. There's a lot in this set. I can't seriously see how anyone will need this many, but there is a lot. I'm going to be having a look at these as well, so it's going to be quite fun. So those have been released, or they're on order now. Other things are out. People who play Carnivale, I know that there's a couple of people in the group that play that, but I liked this guy. I thought he looked fun.
Yeah.
This new
Interesting.
release is this kind of angry sort of looking fishmonger guy. I have no idea how the game plays, but the TT Combat obviously.
He'd work for your traitors, wouldn't he?
He probably would, yeah. That fishmonger. This guy looks a lot more gruff than the one who got beaten in our game the other day. Now, On Guard, which was the game that Paul Hicks was chatting about.
Oh yes. When
he came on here, he's working and he's doing some of the sculpting for John Blanche. So there are a couple more models that have been shown off. So there's first of all this guy. Now this is sculpted, and I'm sorry, I've completely forgotten the other sculptor. So there's this one here. Now these are all 54 mil because this is a dueling game. So there's this one here, but if you like the details, like look at the peg leg. It's actually like a carved, like bit of a pew, like the angel, like an angel. Which is very nice. And then there's this one here. This is one of Paul's. Look at this guy, the rat guy.
That is fantastic.
Jesus.
Look at that. I like the rat down the bottom holding the gun.
Yeah.
Blimey.
But a lot of peg legs. Even there, like the muscles, the crustaceans on stuff. Look at that. That is very cool. So there's more and more previews coming out for this. So if you're interested, go over, join the Facebook group, and go and have a look. Last one, I know some people like Star Wars Legion. After the abandonment of whatever it was called, Shatterpoint.
Shatterpoint, yeah.
They announced a Mandalorian army box. It's coming out in June. So plenty of Mandalorians in there, and obviously you're then going to be able to get what's his face, the Mandalorian, in fact, and Baby Yoda. And the armorer as well. Nice. Do you know, I went to the cinema this week and I saw the trailer for this film, the Mandalorian and Grogu, and I was so, as someone who absolutely loved Star Wars, I was so unmoved and uncared.
Really?
Care less. Yeah, I really just didn't. I was more excited about the Masters of the Universe film trailer than I was the Star Wars one.
Wow.
What about you, Dom? Are you seen much out there in the wild?
I can't remember what I've seen and what I haven't seen, but there were a couple of things I picked up on. So at Adepticon, I bumped into Colin Stone from Warlords on the stand. I was having a chat with him about what they're up to, and I was trying to get him to let slip about whether they had any plans at all for anything historical anytime soon, but he wouldn't go on. But I asked him about Conflict 47 because everything at Adepticon was Conflict 47, and he did tell me the amount of money they've made in the first month with that. It was a very big number. He said, "Don't tell anyone," so I can't tell you, but it was a very big number. And he had a very big grin on his face, so there you go. But they did announce a number of Conflict launches, I believe, at the show. I don't know, because I was in the bar at this point, because it was 8:00 in the evening. They started doing their talk through, but there's a whole bundle of new stuff for Conflict coming through, including this new supplement, lots and lots of stuff. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure I know exactly what's going on. It's automated men and mutant bundles and all sorts of things. Lots of Russian stuff. I think there's some new Japanese stuff as well. But I mean, they look really cool. I have to say the models they had on at the stand in Adepticon and the display game they were running did look incredibly cool. Really, really impressive looking. So if you're into Conflict, which does seem to be getting a huge amount of interest.
Well, it's going to be interesting. So when's 11th edition 40k coming out? Is that, I assume they usually do about a 6-month lead in, don't they? Something like that, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because I was wondering, I was chatting to a couple of people about this. I say with that coming out, it's going to be interesting because I know, it's been really successful for Warlord, but essentially it's given them a bit of a deadline to make a big impact. Because all the people, this is what I think, all the people who have left about 40k or TW to go and play Conflict, they're still going to buy the new edition to see what it's like.
Yeah,
I'd say out of those people, there's a very and Dom, you say how many thousands and thousands and thousands. I just have a feeling those people are still going to go and buy it to see what it's like, even if they hate it. They're still going to buy it,
buy
even if they put it on eBay. And that's money that then isn't going to go to Warlord. So they've got to make a big impression. They've got to keep this momentum going. And I think this, from what you said, that's what they're going to do. They've got to keep going and keep. So they're not going to put anything into historicals much at the time being, because they've got to win and they need to compete. Because there's a new edition that's been announced, and
even if they get, I was saying, even if they get 10% of the sales of Games Workshop, which would be a phenomenal amount of money, for Warlords. Even if they got 5% of the people buying into Conflict, that will be a major win for them. So I understand from a business point of view why they're putting so much effort behind it. And clearly, there was a lot of people interested. I think there was a lot of people coming up to the historical area because there were some Conflict games up there. And on the stand, and people who just really wouldn't touch historicals at all. Were very interested in Conflict.
I agree with James here. I think Warlord are losing the historical market because there are other companies that are picking it up that are doing an amazing job. And I'm not saying that they can't compete, but you've got to.
They've rested on their laurels too long, I think. I think they have. But I think War Games Atlantic for one. Perry's keeps churning out their good stuff. But there's so many good manufacturers now. I think the rise of
Victrix is
knocking out.
Victrix and War Games Atlantic, but even like, I say even, like, that sounds like a bit insulting. I don't mean it that way, but you've got like Gripping Beast that are still just put out their sets, and they're great for what you need.
Yeah, exactly right. So and I think at the end of the day, they've got a business to run, and that's the business they've decided to head for. But hopefully they don't completely lose sight. But I was hoping there'd be some sort of announcement on upcoming supplements and that kind of stuff. But and I'm sure they'll carry on doing the Epic, because that does seem to sell well. But we'll see what else. The only other thing I can remember I saw was also Gringo. They've got a new. Now it's a nice obscure war, the Anglo-Berlin War, 1824 to 1886. That's not a war I know an awful lot about, but Gringo are doing some figures for it, and they'll be up at Salute, I think. It's always worth swinging by Gringo's stand at Salute, because they always have some really interesting stuff there that nobody else does. And watch Martin buy some Mamluk cavalry and then realise it's got paint is always very satisfying.
And they're utterly shit. Yes. In game. Yeah, they look pretty, but they're utterly shit.
Oh, they don't do anything on the table.
It doesn't matter what the system. And they should be,
They should be a little bit scary, but they're not. They're just prancing ponies, really, aren't they? I think that's all I saw. There you go.
Over a decade since it was last non-epic historical kit.
Is it really that? No, because they've done all that ACW
and bolt action stuff as well.
They've done the bolt action. No, that's not right.
But they're not plastic.
Oh, proper plastic. Oh, I suppose that's true.
Well, they've done the US Airborne.
Plastic, isn't it?
So so they've done bolt action. They've done bolt action.
Yeah, plastic Italians.
Yeah, it's true.
There's been quite a lot.
But I think, but if we take out, if you take out the bolt action, if you're talking pike and shot, or if you're talking outside of that, then I'm just trying to think. But then a lot of those kit, like the AWI stuff, was War Games Factory stuff.
It was
that they brought up. I'm trying to think what it might have been. ECW, maybe.
When was the last time they did? I mean, there's that one plastic ECW box, isn't there?
Yeah, that's still the one. I'm saying, I'm surprised. I don't know why. I could see War Games Atlantic just jumping on, putting an army builder box out for pike units.
We said outside of bolt action.
Yeah,
true. Outside of bolt action, you might be right.
I remember buying that the ACW regiment box in 2009. I bought that. Crikey!
But that's Perry.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
They've only just released their own models for the ACW.
Oh, sorry, no, ECW.
Oh, ECW. Yeah.
ECW. So that one, where you get the pike block and the two wings of muskets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that in 2009. So again,
That's what Robin's just said. Look, the War Games Factory AWR from 2014, and then a miniature of the week this week.
I know.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? I don't know really what the I mean, it's like
I am actually
the supplement for black powder has been planned for what 5 years, 6 years, maybe longer.
Possibly. So when was the last new plastic Napoleonic box they released?
Well, they haven't done any plastic, but they have done Silicast stuff. So they've done they did the Spanish, they did the Dutch Belgians.
Mm-hmm.
So they have done a few Napoleonics, that's for sure.
But not plastics.
But not plastics.
No.
But they're plastic. Oh no, I know what it is. I know what it would be. It would be the because I bought them. It was the heavy cavalry, the household cavalry. It was the because you got them in a bundle. You could get the Waterloo bundle, and you get constantly.
Okay.
That was the last time they came out. That was the plastic last cavalry, British heavy dragoons. Yeah, that's what I think. That's
yeah. Robert makes a good point. So they cycled because they bought up other molds. So I mean, I was convinced. Remember what was that range? Was it the Italian Wars range? I mean, they weren't new, were they? No.
What, the new Italian War stuff? You mean?
Yeah, the metals.
The recent Italian War stuff, or the.
John said that. Yeah, it was the early Renaissance stuff in metals that everyone hated.
Yeah.
Because they released those cavalry. Yeah.
Oh, they were dominating.
Yes, the ones that we thought were epic and weren't.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, has been a while. I think War Games. I mean, James makes a point. I think War Games Atlantica probably don't now got more historical kits than War would do. Probably.
Probably. I mean, they seem to be smashing them out, don't they?
Oh, weekly basis, pretty much.
Well, with what Charlie was telling us the other day about the plans they got and working with Lucas over at with Piano Miniatures, and then some of the other things that they had. The fact that the medieval stuff they've got what did he say, 7 kits ready to go. They got two. They got the ones we know now, which is the Command, both mounted and foot. Now I meant to ask him at the time. And I think they are going to be separate. So you buy a box, it's going to be mounted Command, and a box going to be foot Command. Whereas in my head, I'm kind of sitting there going, maybe if you get half the sprues, but double, but foot and mounted, makes sense. But that's fair enough. That's the business one. But then he mentioned Outlaws to us, didn't he? On stream, he mentioned Outlaws and that. So that's cool.
We know how much you like the little green bastards, Martin. But are you going to buy into some of those? You're going to be partaking at Salute of some of those shop figures? Oh,
what, the shop? It's tempting. But more from the point that I'd quite just like to paint the 54mm ones. To be honest,
I'd love to have a crack at those 54mm ones. I just think they'd be really. I mean, me painting Napoleonics. What? But there's a caveat. Grimdark Sharp. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be tempted to. I wouldn't say they're going to be high on the list. I'd rather buy the more sprues of knights and stuff to build up. I was tempted to get some of the mounted sergeants, but not for Baron's War, because I don't know. Did you see the article that Andy put up recently about using them in Warhost? Is the human kingdoms?
I did, yeah.
Because I've got I don't know why. I don't, for some reason, for the Baron's War, I don't really want mounted sergeants. I don't care about them. I'm just like, I just want another guy in a horsey blanket because it's fun to paint. I'd rather have one knight for 2 sergeants. I don't really care. But I quite like the idea of maybe doubling up and using the humans in Warhost, right? You can do it. You just get, you just use, them across, just get some peasantry stuff, and then all you need is like a wizard, and you can go. So I thought it might be a laugh to have some of those for that, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
I don't know if we
going back to
debated.
the point, yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
No, I was just saying, back to what they was, the guys have been saying in the chat. Yeah, I think War Games Atlantic and Victrix between them have probably, they're very, if not level, have overtaken Warlord in terms of historical production. And Perry don't even put out that. Perry have got good, reliable kits, great kits. They're reliable, but they just do what they want to do, don't they?
They
I love them.
do.
I feel they do. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to the stage they're just putting out whatever they fancy doing, and I get the feeling the business side of it isn't quite so so important to them. But yeah, it's interesting.
But people buy them though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
They release them and people.
Oh yeah.
People snap them up.
Oh, I'm not saying they're bad. They're not. They're brilliant. But some of the stuff you just think there's no sort of. I don't know. Sometimes you wonder what strategy is behind them. But then talking to them at shows and things like that, they literally, I was like, I just fancy doing it. Okay, that's right. Okay. Knock yourself out then. We'll buy it while you keep producing beautiful figures. Well, I will.
You will.
Exactly.
Let's have a look at some of the starred comments here. So one from Robin. Be the hip next. Be careful at your age, Dom.
Yeah, cheeky bugger.
No more leaping over fences outside pubs. Sam said, "His dog at the school bus." That sounds.
Yeah, I mean, are we accepting that as an excuse? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. One from Nick. Is the Swedish cavalry figures released yet? Does anyone know what they're?
I presume that's a reference to your things, your Lily Banner game, Martin.
Swedish cavalry.
Yeah.
Through who? Battle Cat. I think I've got the STLs, but the Swedish were Paul. He used Ebor, so they're all metals.
No,
I don't know. Interesting.
Howard. Just spent 10 minutes on hands and knees looking for a part, only to find he hadn't cut it off the sprue. I feel your pain. Have you ever dropped something and then when you think you found it and when you actually get it off the floor, it's completely something totally random?
Regularly.
Regular. That time I said I was walking back from work and I thought I had a stone in my trainer, and when I took it off, I shook it out. And it was a piece of German equipment from a bolt action kit. It was like a bread bag and a water bottle. And I'm like, how on earth? One, did it get in there? And I didn't feel it the entire day. But yeah, that was something most unexpected.
You've been kit bashing so much stuff that actually you're starting to kit bash yourself.
I started to kit bash myself.
Yeah.
I
seem to drop things all over the place, and then. And the one I hate is that I've got a box down here with some railway lines that I need to finish painting up, and I regularly drop things in it, and then a number of times I go rooting around in there, and I heard it go in it, and it's not there, just not there, and then you go hunting around all around it, and then about a fortnight later I'll go in the box and it'll be there. It's like, I don't know. It's like socks; they disappear. Don't know what happened.
So the next time I do a Rubicon kit, I'm going to put like one of those plastic sheet things down.
Because, like when you're murdering, that kind of
thing. Yes. Because losing a piece of a Rubicon kit is just, I don't know, it's miserable. It really is miserable.
I wouldn't mind, but I bought some plastic trays, like yay big, just perfect for that I would sit and make them. And then for some reason, like whenever I'm making models at the moment, and for some reason, I don't know where the trays are. I just forget to bring them out. So again, incompetence, my fault.
Flesh Cloud. So don't tell our gentleman at the bottom, but Kings of War has a historical set of rules. It's from second edition.
It does.
You just ignore the first health number and it fits with the latest rule set. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is Kings of War historical.
Yeah, there is. Funny enough, although I don't think it's supported anymore. The guy that I was playing with on the Kings of War game, he was saying, because the other, funny enough, the two other guys playing the game were also really historical gamers, which was weird that it was just historicals playing the game. And they were saying about the history version of it, and he said, "Oh, it's not supported anymore." But no reason why you can't play it. But it's I get the feeling it wasn't terribly successful. But I can see why it'd be fun. And you've talked about it, Martin, because you were thinking about it at one point, weren't you? Doing historicals using those rules and doing big bases of troops. Or
I did it. I just used my leftover Empire from the old from Warhammer and put them all on massive. But I really enjoyed Kings of War when I played it. Definitely, it was a lot of fun. I don't even really know why we kind of stopped playing it. I think we just started. It wasn't because we didn't like it. I think other games just kind of came along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one from Flesh Clouds. Are there any Salute exclusives worth grabbing?
Exclusives? No. There's stuff that's being released at Salute. I think there's some Burrows and Badgers things that are at Salute.
I don't think he managed to get them done in time. He was saying, Michael was saying on the post that he had, because I was going to put that in the news, but then he said he hadn't managed to get them done in time. I think he was hoping to have them there at Salute, but they're not ready. But yeah, no, I don't think they don't tend to do. It's not like so again, go on about Adepticon, but I'm going to Adepticon. They went around. There were loads of show exclusives you could pick up. I mean, a Games Workshop individual figure for $30. Would you believe was a show exclusive? They had about they had I don't know about 20 different exclusive models, all at $30, and they had a rather helpful sign on the stand saying you can only buy two at a time. Bloody hell, insane to buy 2 models for.
Did you buy any?
Funny enough, I didn't.
If you'd have bought one of those and then bought it back here and whacked it on eBay, you in England, you'd have made a mint.
Well, I must admit, our Welsh friend may have done that. I saw him selling them.
Did Ken do it?
I don't think he did, because he would have been absolutely skinned alive by Laura if he'd gone back spending that kind of money. I think he was already going to be skinned alive anyway. But no, I don't think it. To be honest, I did think about it, but then funny enough, Alan and I were talking about it and we're thinking, well, is that would they do? Was it really an event exclusive, or will they do that as an exclusive at every sort of show they do? So I don't know whether it was a true.
Well, no, it's like so Star Wars Legion have done. I think this just goes to show how monumentally small historicals are in comparison. Companies can't really afford to just release it fully, Whereas like there was the Star Wars Legion. I remember a couple of years ago there was an Obi-Wan Kenobi that I actually quite liked the look of. I was like, oh, that looks really cool, and just couldn't get it anywhere. Whereas like Shaco's is saying although I'm going to guess that he didn't watch the stream, but yeah, Saladin is the Salute mini, but he's going to be available later afterwards. Like they got that model's going to be available.
It's been given away to the first whatever it is 500 people,
5,000
people or whatever go through the door, but then you can buy it afterwards.
It was so it's again. I when I think it was GW Open there. What was it like? Their 500th store, their 5,000th store, something like that. There was a couple of exclusive minis, and I went and bought one. I just bought the Space Marine. I think it was like 15 quid, and then I put it on eBay, and then I think I got double my money easily for it.
I've got sod's lawyers. I wouldn't know what I'm buying, and if I bought it, I'd probably end up nobody would buy it. Here we go. Alex said $40 plus sales tax. Oh my god! The guy got them for asked them to sell them because his girlfriend found out the cost. I mean, the guys were telling me that people were queuing up at the Games Workshop till to pay, and they had armfuls of these things, and they get there and they go, right, that's $300, and they're going, what? And saying, can we put some of these back, please? $40 a pop. Oh, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, there you go. I didn't buy it.
I can't imagine it would be your thing, especially not the weirdness of it all. Quick one from Dave. Another question: any tips for a first-time exhibitor of a game at a show?
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Take sweets. give out things to people. No, if you're an exhibitor and if you're showing off a game system, just talk to everyone, because there'll be people who come and have a look, and they might not. They're just curious about it, and the best thing to do is just chat to people and just ask them to have a go. Do they want to? They'll have a turn. The people who are showing things off who. I find that don't really get, the ones who don't necessarily talk to people. They just kind of, you wander over and have a look and there's just no engagement.
No,
obviously, if you're already talking to someone else, then, fair enough. But, If
you don't come back from running an exhibition or an exhibitor game or a participation game and you haven't lost your voice, you've done something wrong. Honestly, because you should be talking to everybody. You're engaged, and if you're putting on a game, the actual game needs to be bloody simple, because remember, nobody's going to know the rules terribly well, probably. So you need to make it engaging, but you certainly, like Martin says, you need to talk to everybody. And engage with them. I hate those games. It's a personal absolute peeve when you walk around a trade show and they're just all you see is the backs of people's heads as they're hunched over playing the game. It's like, it's not a club night. This is a show. You should be showing off the game, talking about it. Yeah. Sorry,
I know I've not mentioned it yet, but Space Weirdos for me was the ultimate sort of exhibition game, because you can teach someone the rules in about 10 minutes. It's absolutely perfect for that. It's a quick paced game. You're not going to be there for the next 6 or 7 hours. No, it's just for me that was the
Steve, I've never heard of it before.
What Space Weirdos? Yeah, we don't talk about it a lot. It's but again, actually, for me, that is a good example of a great exhibition game. Like I said, it's simple, it's fast paced, it's fun, it's engaging. It's just perfect.
Well, the guys, Don and Rafferty, the games they put on at Adepticon, they were playing Black Powder. I didn't play the other ones, but the games of Black Powder I played. Which is a pretty basic set of rules that you can pick it up pretty quickly. But even then, they streamlined, so they reduced some of the complexity around certain things just to make it move quicker. So the disorder rule they changed so that even to stop dead, you actually had a chance to keep moving and that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff just helps. I think you just keep moving, keep the game flow moving, you don't want anyone sitting there getting bored. I
forgot to say, Dwarven Mustache. He was at Carry On Crackon, and he's putting on. He's a salute. He's helping out with the game. It's the Woods, isn't it? The fancy one. So that's another one I want to check out. But I'll tell you another one that annoys me. If have a copy of the rules, as in you probably have one rule, but have another copy that people can look through, because there's a lot of times where people go, "Oh, what rules are you using?" And it will be they might not have heard of it, but if you've got a rule book that you don't mind them flipping through, or a print out of the PDF or something, just so they can get an idea, because what they very well will go and do is wander off and buy it if it's there.
True, good point.
I know that Tim just said this one. Know the rules backwards. Trust me, I learned this. I was listening to the recent Lardy's Oddcast, and Rich Clark was talking about there was a Lard day and someone was running a Lardy game and didn't know the rules. I can imagine that would be absolutely just the worst thing in the entire world.
I can't imagine going to a game and then being told, no, not really don't know the rules. I could understand maybe saying someone changing rules or being unsure on something and you'd be like, oh, okay, we can work it out. That's fair enough. But like,
just not knowing the rules.
Yeah, I know Dom's. I know Dom's. He's looking at me. That wasn't in reference to you, and that game. That wasn't in reference. But if you've house ruled something or if you change something, let people know, because you will have people who are playing the game, and then halfway through they'll go to do a maneuver, and you'll go, "Oh, actually, we're not doing that," and because of X, Y, and Z. And they're like, "Oh, well, we were never informed. Oh, yeah, we're doing this house rule." Well, tell them at the start, because then it'll change their
very
what
true.
they're gonna do.
I mean, the other thing is just be confident, and even if you're wrong, be confident. It's fine. I find works every week.
Be upbeat, just be enthusiastic, even if people are making terrible rolls and terrible decisions. Be enthusiastic about them.
Oh God, yeah, that's another being show a bit of life, a bit of, and don't take it. Don't. I remember at the end of the day, it's just toy soldiers at the end of the day. So that's the mantra to go by. Right, 5 minutes to go, so we're going to have a look at some viewers' photographs. Now, I mentioned to Don Martin before we came on last week. I think the weird stuff heavily outnumbered the historical stuff on the Facebook group. I really struggled.
And I
Yeah,
think
go
we're
away.
just teetering around 2K members. I
Yes.
think we're just teetering around the 2K at the minute.
So there's a link to the Facebook group down below. As always, answer Dom's questions. You'll get in. Don't post tin rattling post about 3D sculpting because you'll be swiftly escorted from the premises. Oh, pisses me off, it really does. Right, here we go. Let's start off. So Cardboard Fortress. Look at that giant. Absolutely. That is brilliant, isn't it?
I'd love to paint a giant. I've never done a giant. I'd like to.
Well,
do a giant.
my Mantic giant has been sat half painted on my shelf since 2022. So
Why don't you slap loads of enamels on it?
I might do that actually. I can't remember what's left to do. Quite a lot actually, but that is fantastic. That's definitely inspiration.
That's lovely.
I do like a giant figure.
It's a
Up
big
next,
old model as well, isn't it? It really is.
it is huge. Up next, don't often get to see this on the channel, but Chris has been painting up to Turnip 28.
Hey!
Oh my God.
Is that like a walking barrel? That's
A walking barrel. It's brilliant, isn't it?
That is amazing.
So what I've not painted anything turnip related. It'll be 3 years in August. Was the last
Good
time I
grief.
did anything of the turnip variety. I might have to
You've
remedy
been
that.
unfaithful with Space Weirdos. That's what it is.
I know, it's shocking turnip events. But no, that's brilliant. I mean, what's not like? There's tufts, there's mud, there's crap everywhere. There's a walking barrel. Yeah, absolutely quintessential Turnip 28. Actually posted a bunch of photographs of General Dame 2.
Oh, nice. Oh, good game.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of figures. That's a lot of figures. If you're on the Facebook, go and check out the full post. Loads of photographs on there from Ashley. It looked really cool. And that's coming from me. Yeah. Up next is Gaza with this Blood Bowl Orc.
Oh, that is awesome.
I think he's a blitzer. But I think he was playing Blood Bowl 6. Is it 6s or 7s? The sort of the smaller version.
7s.
7s. Is that but that's really cool. I have to look into that. I've not played Blood Bowl in a good while. But I just love the blue armor with the checker pattern on it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Really cool. What's next? We have Ian with some Barons War.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Always good seeing Barons War on the channel. Very, very cool colours on them as well. This is brilliant. So John, look at that.
I saw it. That was insane. That
Absolutely.
took my breath away. That did. That's
Wow.
Just equal parts insane, beautiful. Want to play on it, don't want to play on it for fear of breaking something. Also kind of a bit of a sort of sensory overload as well. It's just awesome.
So that is that's Charlie Don't Surf by Two Fat Lardies. It was like an urban game, but again, John posted loads and loads of pictures of it, and it's just the level of detail in that game is absolutely phenomenal. Again, check it out and look at all the other photographs.
That's amazing.
Again, back to the weirdest. So another John has been painting up some of the Damned. Look at those.
What the heck?
Hey.
So the Damned is I think it was a Kickstarter that War Games Atlanta did quite a while back, and it reached its goal, and people are now starting to get their their miniatures. And there's people posting huge, great big boxes of plastic. they're brilliant. I think a lot of people are going to use them as like traitor guard or cultists. But I just like them. I like the masks. They're so freaky.
They're like little mole people.
They are. They're really good. And I can't wait for the dam to be like available to people who didn't back Kickstarter, because I will be getting me some of those. Matt was working on some alien stuff, so he's painted up loads of them. But this was I like this Ripley.
That's
There's a cool one of Ash as well, and he's lying there with all his android guts hanging out. I thought that was brilliant. But yeah, really, really good. I've got that. I've never painted any of the miniatures for it though. No, another glorious day in the core. Never got around to painting any of them. I might have to change that.
I've not painted anything for my Hellboy game. I'd love to, but I'm on that kind of. I don't want to have them half the box painted
exactly.
and the other not. I'd rather just have none of them painted.
I did that with Hero Quest as well. I've vowed never to paint that, and I certainly won't be painting my copy of Space Crusade either. Definitely not. This is from Matthew. Just look. So that's War Games Atlantic Epic Agincourt. He has painted so many. Again,
is this Matt Klein?
It is, yes.
Yeah, he's done a battle report as well, using War Master.
Cool.
So obviously the daddy of Black Powder and Hail Caesar and everything. But yeah, go check it out. This is and Matt's obviously a chap who does our artwork for us as well.
Yes. So. Very talented chap. But yeah,
again, he was a sketch artist. So
check out the post from Matt in the Facebook group. There's loads and loads of photographs. Up next is some war host elves from Rob.
Boo, I say. He sent me something like these are ready to what did he say to me? He sent me these going like, oh, these are ready to kill your smelly orcs or something like that. What did he say to me? And I'm not. What did I can't actually remember if I can post what I said back. But I think she said that. Where is it? No, I can't say that back.
No.
So, there we go.
And then we have Morgan has done some. These are the King's Lifeguards.
Nice.
So again, that's the
Fantastic.
kit we were talking about earlier.
That's exactly the kit we were talking about. Yeah.
Old God's dog. Yeah.
God, we're so overdue having a new kit of that, aren't we? Really.
Flesh Cloud, they're the Hobdane Hicks Warhost elves. They're elves. Yeah, just go Hobdane Hicks or Warhost into Google. Have a look on there. There's some new ones coming out very soon, actually. Actually, no, I think they've got them on there now, the Elf Commanders. I think they're on there now.
And last but not least, Trevor has been painting some Dogs of War Tillians for. He's using them for like an Old World and Midgard. They're really nice. I like them.
They are lovely.
Very, very bright. So he's been using some of the all kinds of stuff going on in there. Really good. Again, big thank you to everyone that posts in the group. Like I said, last week was. Is it any coincidence, Dom, you're away and all of a sudden there's weirdness being posted all over the place?
Listen, historical people out there, get your bloody figures painted and stick them up on the Facebook. Let's reclaim the Facebook page from the weirdos.
Right, we're officially in overtime. So next week we are over on Martin's channel. So an update.
Well, it was kind of rather than just a channel update. I just thought it'd be a lot like obviously we're just going to paint along, just doing some painting, but also just where have our channels gone since we started them? Where are they going? Because we've all changed a little bit. Steve hasn't done a video in a while, not as long as Ken. But are we still? What are our plans? Like, honestly, where would you like to go? Because I know we kind of touch on this occasionally every now and then. It's not meant to be particularly deep. And then I thought it'd just be interesting. If people have got any questions, so how we decide to do stuff. So just to chat about the channels and where they are and what's working, what might not be working. After that, we're over on Dom's channel, and we are chatting about conventions, the perfect one. And then at the end of the month, we're being joined by Andy Hobday of War Games Atlantic, Warhost, Baron's War fame, to chat with him about that. So really looking forward to it.
That'll be an interesting one. Really looking forward to that. Right, it's 10:05, so I think we've kept these lovely people long enough. Big thanks for everyone that joined us tonight. The last few hours of your long weekend, so really appreciate that. Don't forget to visit Boards and Swords Hobbies. Use the code PCP5 when you're checking out to get 5% off your already discounted order. And massive thank you to everyone that's watching on the catch up. Channel stuff down below. Hit all the buttons. Do all the buttons stuff that we all know what to do and we all love it. But we shall see you next week over on Martin's channel. Have a great hobby week, and we shall see you all next week. Take care, everybody. See you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.